I got a new nurse fired for accusing me of having an affair with my father. So I work as a social worker at this small hospital, and my dad's been an ER charge nurse there for like 15 years. Pretty much everyone who works there knows he's my dad. We have the same last name on our badges. People see us together all the time. It's not a secret or anything. A few weeks ago, I was down in the ER trying to sort out placement for this elderly patient who needed to go to a nursing home, but his insurance was being difficult. Standard Tuesday stuff. When I was done, I ran into my dad in the hallway, and we were just talking about normal stuff. He asked if I was still coming to dinner that weekend and gave me a hug before I left. I made some joke about ordering the most expensive thing on the menu since it was his turn to pay. Something dumb like that. We were literally just standing there having a completely normal father-daughter conversation in the middle of the hallway where anyone could see us. Now there was this new nurse at the nurse's station like 10 feet away. She'd only been working there maybe 3 weeks. I'd seen her around, but we'd never really talked. Apparently she heard our conversation and saw my dad hug me, and her brain just went to the worst possible place. Instead of asking literally anyone about it or, I don't know, minding her own business, she immediately started telling people that my dad was having an affair with me, the hospital social worker. She knew my dad was married because my mom brings him lunch sometimes and wears her wedding ring. So this nurse is just going around telling anyone who will listen that she witnessed my dad and some woman planning a date and being all affectionate in the hallway. She was acting like she'd uncovered some huge scandal. One of the older nurses who I've known since I started working there came and found me like an hour later. She pulled me into an empty room and was like, "I need to tell you something and you're probably going to want to sit down." Then she explained that the new nurse was spreading rumors that my dad was cheating on my mom with me, except she didn't know it was me. She just kept saying the social worker. I was so confused at first. Like it took me a minute to even process what she was saying. Then I got pissed. This woman had been working there for 3 weeks and was already starting drama based on absolutely nothing. The thing is, I really hate gossip. I know that sounds dramatic, but I've seen gossip destroy people's reputations at hospitals before. Nurses can be the worst about it too. Not all of them, obviously, but there's always a few who treat the nurses' station like it's their personal drama headquarters, instead of actually doing their jobs. I didn't even bother confronting her. I went straight to HR and filed a formal complaint. I explained exactly what happened, that she was telling people my dad was having an affair when I'm literally his daughter, and that she hadn't bothered to verify anything before spreading it around. HR took it pretty seriously. They called all 3 of us in after our shifts, me, my dad, and the new nurse. The HR lady already knew my dad was my father. She'd worked there for years. When the nurse came in, she looked nervous, but also kind of self-righteous, like she thought she was about to expose some big conspiracy. The HR lady asked her to explain what she'd observed and why she felt the need to discuss it with other staff members. The nurse went off. She said she'd seen my dad hugging me and heard us talking about dinner and expensive steaks. She said she thought it was disgusting that we would be so obvious about having an affair right there in the hospital hallway. She said she was shocked because my dad seemed like such a good person, and she couldn't believe he would cheat on his wife like that. She kept going on about how disappointed she was. My dad just let her finish, and then he said really calmly, "That's my daughter." The nurse's face went completely white, like all the color just drained out of it. She started apologizing immediately, saying she had no idea. She'd just assumed. She was so sorry. She didn't mean anything by it. The HR lady dismissed me and my dad. We left and sat in the parking lot for like 20 minutes just talking about how awkward that was. My dad was embarrassed, but also kind of annoyed. He said it wasn't the first time someone thought I was his girlfriend, which is gross, but apparently happens sometimes when there's a big age gap between a dad and daughter. The next day I found out the nurse got fired. She was still in her 90-day probationary period, so they just let her go. The official reason was spreading false information about staff members and creating a hostile work environment or something like that.